Okay, everybody, so I'm back real quick. I wanted to go over something that life has just been teaching me. Okay, I was on here yesterday, but I'm on today. One of the things about manifestation that nobody is talking about, that I think is a tremor that sits in everybody else's heart, that sits in everyone's heart trying to manifest, is that component of just releasing and letting go, and also surrendering to the process. That idea of being able to surrender to something that you don't know how it's going to happen is part of what manifestation is about. And we are having real issues in manifestation because that's that one part nobody's really talking about: surrender. If we can not surrender to the process of our manifestations and the fifth dimension and quantum leaping and everything, it's an element of control that at the human level we don't possess the ability to know what the heck we're supposed to be doing as human technologies, human avatars, human beings, right? And this is something that, in truth, it's like that tremor. I have felt it so many times, and I had to say that I had to go through something that really had to break my heart. Really had to break my heart in order for me to kind of get to this place of just going with the flow. And going with the flow is not easy when you are bare knuckling it through a manifestation process that you need to rescue you through something. And what happens is the rescue doesn't come when you're trying to control it, unless the rescue is, say, take for instance, a well stocked or well put together savings account and investment account with dividends that are paying you every month. Then that's not the same thing. That's just not the same thing. You may not want to touch it, but if you have it, for the most part, people's manifestations are dealing in the love arena, and they're dealing in the money arena. That's just where they tend to be. And in the money arena, if you kind of have like a little golden parachute, so to speak, something that you can rescue yourself with, especially if you've put everything on the line and said, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go work and live my life this way, and your life is not coming back to you that way, well, you got to get ready and determine, are you going to get ready and use that golden parachute? Are you going to use that savings? Or are you going to go back to work? Or are you going to get ready and go on the journey of your life? I promise you, the third option is probably the most invigorating, it's the most exhilarating, but it's also the most scary, okay? As one who has been living through this now for 4 years. It'll technically be 4 years next month. Okay. And this stuff is scary. I don't really have no other way to put it. And one of the biggest issues is when you are trying to hold together systems, you're trying to hold together a household, you're trying to make sure that you can take care of yourself as a person, and you off on this journey. And nobody's talking about I mean, there are places where you have to let go. Sometimes it's relationships, like friendships that you thought were going to be around. You thought that they were really made of something, only to find out it was pure kittle cattle. It was a Cracker Jack box with no damn prize. Hi, Rocky Hammond Sr. When you don't have, when you lose a friend or you lose somebody that you have been building a relationship with that's based on friendship, it's based on, like, you could be working together every day, or you could be in an organization where you kind of really trust each other, and then you go through something like this where you have left your job and you are literally out here like a bird catching the currents as you can, and you realize this person was not your friend. They were not your benefactor. They were not your confidant. They were laughing at you behind your back. They were making kikis and putting things up on social media. They were playing the victim when really they had gotten you to the tune of at least 10 G's. And I'm not talking about things that they delivered on, things that they sitting on and just never gave, right? And this could be an organization that you were a part of and a group of people, and you decided to see the forest for the trees. You finally decided to take off the rose-colored glasses and look and go, oh, this is not what it is. This ain't it. This is not what I thought it was. And the clarity comes when you have those moments that are not filled by endless email, endless phone calls, people coming by your desk and getting on your nerves, or knocking on good morning everyone, I had not slept yet, but people coming by your desk or your office or whatever, and like your time is not being filled by all these external stimuli that provide your income every day, right? Provide your income every week or every 2 weeks or every month, right? And you finally get to sit and listen and realize, oh, that wasn't a return phone call. That was an ignored phone call. Because weeks have gone by and you have not gotten this person. You have been on a meditation journey. One of the things I did when I left left my last job is I just took time and I bought a whole bunch of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. Blessing the Energy Centers and Water Rising if you ever, right? And I took the time to just meditate. I was trying to rush something again, right? But it was good. I really broke a lot of stuff wide open, and was able to see that I remember feeling this whole thing inside of me and going, oh no, I trusted in another person that was not trustworthy. And I'm grateful for the revelation that it was, but it didn't come until I had those moments of quiet. My sleep pattern was heavily disturbed. Circadian what? Circadian clock? Circadian idea? Circadian concept? I wasn't sleeping. Right? And then perimenopause came and found me. And that took off. It's a whole nother bag of conversation we will not go in today. But during this manifestation journey, I have seen some major wins. Almost all the time. But during this manifestation journey and just taking this walk, I don't know if there are any people out there that know about David Cameron Gikandi, who wrote The Happy Pocket Full of Money, or anybody that's read any Sanaya, Roman and Dwayne Packer books, or did any of their work. with their classes, and I think what was it, this the light body initiations, right? Doing all of that work years ago when I was still working for, at that time I was in pharma. The last job I recently stepped away from was higher ed. But, and getting major results, tapping into a realm that was just so different and so welcomed. I was hungry for it, right? But this journey is different. And manifestation requires one key component nobody's talking about. Everybody's trying to control everything, myself included. You have to surrender. You have to let go of whatever it is you're trying to control. When you go into the fifth dimension, and because that's what you're doing when you're working with Dr. Joe Dispenza, that's what you're doing when you are in your place of imagination and creation, when you're getting creative, when you're pulling on inside of you to create something and you don't know how in the heck it's going to happen, but you just going to take it one step at a time. You're in the fifth dimension, and when you're creating on the fly, okay? But the thing about that area is you don't have any control over how anything is going to show up. And it does show up. Oh honey, it shows up. Um and when it arrives, while it's on its way coming to you, you have to, if you don't have answers for things that had hard deadlines in this real human world that we live in, that really puts us outside of ourselves. And we're going to talk about that in a second too. Because we all believe that telephones are technology, the TV's technology, the computers are technology, you know, the watch. I don't have that watch, but you know, there's so much technology. But we don't understand that the ultimate technology on this planet is us. We are the This is the biggest dupe of humankind. We have been like completely hoodwinked. We have no idea about this. That if we could just get into the process of surrendering, that, and stepping into the energy of, I don't know where this is going, but I'm just gonna go with this because this all I got. This is all I got, man. I ain't got nothing else, right? And let's just go with it. And as you're going with it, you feel like you're bare knuckling it. It's a nail biter, right? And you don't know how it's going to turn out. It's like when you walk into an operation for a family member and everybody's terrified that something's going to happen. But you got that one person that taps into that technology of prayer, of commanding words, of healing, of a person that can command over their loved one the type of creative ability that will work and lock in step with whatever the doctor and the surgeon is doing while your loved one is on that table, and you know how to see it. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You know how to see it, right? You might be the type of person that has visualization skills out the wazoo. So you can see, you know, the veins. You can see where the blood, like you can just imagine what's going to happen when they're clamping stuff off, and especially with television now, we all got that in our mind anyway, right? But now you're going to see this stuff, and maybe you know in areas where you don't see the technical area, you don't know everything, you can just put a color of light and love in there of healing and ask it to hold, and then imagine angels, protective animals protective energies, protective colors, protective lights in the operating room with that doctor, and your loved one comes out of there okay. And it was a risky operation and an emergency. The technology that everybody is like, you all concerned about AI. Okay, we are the AI. We're the inspiration for it. We keep looking outside of ourselves when the truth is we are what it is we're looking for. The ability to be able to do everything it is that we want to do on this planet comes from a place of surrender and creativity. But once you step into that dark place that people are calling the fifth dimension, I don't know what it's going to be called 20 years from now, right? But when you step into that place and you start just going, I think it looks like this, you pulling here, you doing this, I think it could be this way, ooh, let me stretch that out. Think of it like making bread. Your brain, your mind, your inner spirit has the ability to be able to do things for people across the globe at a point you've never been to. We're the technology we keep seeking. And if we surrender to that energy, we could move so much on this planet. But we're literally sitting to the side of ourselves and not looking at ourselves. Like we like right here, like not seeing ourselves. And part of that is when you're looking at this manifestation thing, the process of being able to surrender and essentially fly with the current. I hope everyone is receiving a good day. Fly with the current is what's going to take you forward. That's part of manifestation. Nobody's saying it. Everybody think, oh, I can script it. I can do. You can't do everything, but part of your ability to have your hands on everything or be aware of everything is surrender. There has to come a point. I remember when I stepped into the science of what everyone is calling source now. I stepped into this in, was it 2006? We talking almost 20, like 19 years ago. You're almost talking 20 years ago. And when I stepped into that, I remember I was looking for a job. And I was temping, I was doing contract work. And I wanted a much higher per diem than what I was making at the time because I knew I could command it. You know, I was like, I can do better than that. And so I went on this job interview. I was ready, honey. Hello. After I left that interview, I remember saying to what people are calling higher being, inner being, higher self, what in our tradition we call Ori. I said I had done the best I could do. Now, anything else that's getting ready to come out of here is because of you. I surrender. I'm going to let this go because I ain't got time to be thinking about this. It's going to stress me out. And so I remember I used to actively just be like, I ain't got time to be thinking about that whenever it crossed my mind. And it took forever. I think I went on the interview in like March. I got word that I had the position and they needed me to start almost immediately in like May. I was like, oh, I thought they gave that to somebody else. And it came through. The technology that you are out here looking for, you are. And that is what humanity, we've been duped, man. I swear to God. We learn how to extract things from our creative imaginations and bring them onto this planet, but and at the same time not realizing we are the technology that we're looking for. Not realizing that we are very dynamic, not realizing that we are so future and cutting edge just through our creativity and our imagination. The stuff that kids play with, we should have kept playing with it. We were supposed to continue to play with that mess. And that's what manifestation is. Playing in the realm of make believe, dreaming, having the fun, feeling good, still living a normal life, but understanding that daydream. I remember when I actively decided to let daydreaming go. I remember being like, you can't keep doing this, like, because it's not real. I said that to myself because it wasn't manifesting in front of me. If I just held on a little longer, man, out of this world. So I'm back at it. And you begin to understand is like the way that my mind is, I'm always out searching and looking for validation from other people. And at some point, and that validation, that mess got a hold of me until I got into my tradition. And once I did, I learned to just drop that. Always researching, always looking for somebody else to trust your word, and always looking to see if there's an elder that can verify what you're saying. When really, sometimes you are the foremost, you are the most future thinking, moving forward, pioneering message and being in the building. And they all might laugh at you. And you have to be okay with the fact that the world may laugh at you because they're missing something. If everyone has a chance to go all over YouTube and look at these near death experiences, listen to quite a few of them. One of the quickest things that would change this planet is being kind to your fellow man. Being kind to your fellow man. You know, we got people out here for whatever particular reason, everybody's just ripping each other apart. And all that I got, I was intensively in front of my Boveda in 2022. So for those that understand that, it's a place of spiritual focal point where you go and you sit and you connect. That you set up. Anyway, every energy that kept coming to me was just like, y'all got to be nice to each other down here. Like, just be nice. And at that time, I have a family member who was at that time very big on telling everybody being nice was performative, and I was like, what, you know? But is it Is it being performative to say hello to someone who said hello to you? You're not asking for a commitment. You're not asking for a handshake. You're not even asking for a glass of water. You're just saying hello and keeping pushing. Human beings are having a problem with common decency right now, let alone being able to manifest something. I did all this, but you are really negating to understand. I hate to use this terminology because I don't like to. But you are really negating to understand that you are a literal bitch to everybody that's trying to get to know you. You're intensely, and I can be like that. A lot of people say, "Oh, she's very stern, very mean," you know, and it's just like, yeah, I got that vibe, right? But I'm also very nice, you know, very kind to people, but not a doormat. Will not be anyone's doormat. Once I realize that I'm doing stuff like that, that I'm putting someone else ahead of me, oh, the comeback is real. And I'm done, okay? My Scorpio tendencies is a no, okay? But I'm saying that manifestation requires surrender, but it also requires that we really do an overhaul of self. And I'm not saying you go out here and become this super perfect person. Not that. As a matter of fact, that has nothing to do with it. But that is part of the energy. If the entire planet could just possibly say hello to their neighbor. Hello, neighbor. You know, like, just be nice. Like, I have to go outside. I have to do some sweeping because my next door neighbor, he's always sweeping. He's very nice person, right? And it spurs me to make sure that I am. It's not being performative, but returning the favor. When we put out our trash, if I haven't come out by a certain point, he lifts our cans up. So we over here will I will do the same in turn. Try and make sure that the common areas that we share are clean. Like right now, I have to go down there and have to sweep up some lint from the dryer because it's just stuck down there. And I know it's driving him crazy, so I'm going to get that done because it's actually driving me crazy. So I know he's looking at it going, "What is she doing?" Right? What are they doing? But if we could all think like that about our fellow people, and get behind some of the stuff that's holding us up, the vibration of this planet would move so fast. The vibration of a neighborhood would move fast. The vibration between neighbors would clear a block. We're not being told that number one, we are the technology that is creating all the technology, but it's a chip off the old block. It's a chip off us, and we are the chip off the ultimate power. And when we tap into that, the trickle down effect is an iPhone, a Droid, an Apple Watch, a computer, a television, lights, etc., etc. And also, when we surrender, we get to see some of the most beautiful creations come to life that we could not even think of. We had no idea. And I'm telling you, as human beings, we got a lot of ideas. I mean, just one of my granddaughters coming to me saying she wanted to make some Alfredo. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get the ingredients. Let's do it. She had an idea of what she wanted to do. And when I heard it was a little discombobulated. So I gave her a better way to get it done. But I said, go ahead, you got it. Rock it out. Best Alfredo I've had. Oh my goodness, it's so good. So good. And she did that. I did not stand over her and watch her. She's 15. She know how to cook. But she did that. And so next time I'm like, oh, we're gonna get some bigger ingredients. It's gonna be the base of a white sauce lasagna, like, right? The ability to be able to create is amazing. Excuse me. The ability to be able to create when you are not expecting it is amazing. And I'm going to tell you, I've written a book, right? And I remember when I have a part two. Actually, since I have the time, I need to get ready and start it. And that came to me recently. But when I was writing the first book, I remember I would tap into the ancestors and say, please help me write this book because I really don't know what I'm doing. Just had ideas, had a creative bent, and I wanted to get that thing out, right? I have an outline, I have all this stuff. What amazed me is the congruent thread that went all the way through to the end of this 200-page book that I wrote, 200 plus page book that I wrote. And I was like, it kept the theme because there were times I was really lost in the process of writing. And so I'm just like, I wonder if all this is making sense. So I go back and read and be like, it really actually is. Creativity and inspiration and surrender to a process creates miracles where in the mundane life where we believe that we are sinners and we don't have we should only but hope that we can get close to whatever it is we truly are. When you create a miraculous piece of art, I don't care. You are truthfully in a place that is it's heaven like. I mean, I have a song right now, me and my partner, he and I, we have to work on. Like, because I wrote it. It came to me a couple of years ago. And We worked on it last year. We're going to work on it some more. We're going to work on it and actually finish it. It just requires a lot of creative energy, but I'm ready to do it. And being able to share that part of myself with the world in any capacity, creativity is human technology at its highest form for me. I'm a very creative person. Most human beings are. They just are in different ways. We are missing the message of be kind to your fellow man, do unto, right? And also missing the message of how amazing as technologies we are. The third and most important message that I came here to talk about is in this manifestation journey, as you are trying to manifest things into your life, there comes a point at which you can't do anything else. And you will know what that point is. You're just not going to be able to do a darn thing. In that moment, you must surrender. Give over and be like, I did the best I could. And then detach, drop it. You know, detaching and dropping it does not signal to the universe that you don't find it important anymore. Okay? It does not signal that to the ancestors. It does not signal that to your inner being, your higher self. They all know how important this is to you. But at some point, you have to let go and let what some people call divine providence, divine spirit, come in and do what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to get out there and shine, honey. And you too busy trying to nitpick and make sure you got it all together. That is really what, take for instance, when you think about all the people that are peppering Abraham with questions, event after event after event, when the basics is, as Abraham has told everyone so many times over the years, we are an attraction-based world. That's what we are. So it doesn't matter what you're thinking, but if you could just pull up a little bit more towards thinking about the things that you would like, and then also just going and enjoying life. Getting a good burger, be it made with a mushroom, turkey, or beef, or chicken, or black bean burger, right? Go do you. Go figure out a way to go and enjoy life, because more joy spurs along other amazing things happening. But it cannot happen if you bog down on it. And I believe in stripping the brain, sitting down for a certain amount of time and saying things over and over again. What are affirmations for, right? And that's something that I do every now and then. The last time I did that was last year sometime. Understanding that you don't need to micromanage everything, because I swear to God, it's just a product of this crazy society that we living in, where we feel like we need to turn around and tell the source of all creation, oh, don't forget, I didn't I still want what I wanted. Just because I'm not looking, don't forget, don't forget. Like, does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? It does not make any sense whatsoever. Again, human beings are the divine technology on this planet. You marvel at it when you look at your animals, when you look at your dogs and your cats especially. You marvel at it, you can laugh and see it in them. Really? They mimic our personalities. But we don't see that we are as divine as they are. If nothing else, you learn in different forms of spirituality that we are all equidistant from the same point. There is no one place or one thing learning a different lesson than what you're learning. It may be expressed differently, so it looks totally different, but when you start to really boil it down, a boilerplate situation here, you begin to realize the building blocks of what you're learning are about the same. So once again, manifestation, there's a point at which you must understand you've done all that you can do. Okay? What was that? You did all that you can do. Now surrender. Let that puppy go. Push the origami boat or float out onto the water and let it go. And don't go out there going, it's not going to go where I want it to go if I don't push it. That's ridiculous. Okay? We have to surrender. When we don't, man, the journey can become where my what dreams may come fans at. Y'all out there, I know you are. It can become like when he's on that ship looking for his wife with the doctor. Okay? A harrowing experience. And we just torture ourselves until we recognize, wait a minute. It's actually going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. Yeah, you're going to be fine. So for those right now, I know I'm talking to some people. I'm talking to somebody, so even if you're just scrolling by. For those right now who are suffering and worrying about something big, surrender. Do the best. Give it. Listen, throw everything at it, including the kitchen sink. And then when you're done and you can't lift nothing else up, surrender. And know that you are bigger than the thing that you're worrying about. You are this human technology that has been greatly underestimated. In fact, greatly underreported. Nobody really knows what we are. Okay? Know that you are loved beyond your wildest dreams and you're not alone. And know that there are tools that you can use to get yourself through it. Real quick, book by Abraham, The Amazing Power of Emotions. It's probably one of the best books I feel Abraham ever wrote. Read the book You Are Sourced by Mark Naie. That's a quick little download on your gadgets, okay? And worth your time. I expect many epiphanies, okay? Know that you're loved. The abundance of grass on this planet should tell human beings how much they're loved. But we are literally holding ourselves in abeyance outside of the love, going, why can't I find love? You are loved. We are loved. We are loved. And we are lovable. Okay? Surrender to your process. There will then come along a nudge to let you know what your next step is. It's beautiful. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And I came here to share that because I got stuck. I got stuck just like a lot of us. You know, but even in that stuckness, I learned a lot. And I'm still learning. So, it's pretty late over here. I know for my people who are in the UK, what are y'all, just getting into the office or something like that? Getting ready to have a spot of coffee by the water cooler. No, y'all not in the coffee, y'all in the tea. Enjoy your days, everybody, across the globe, and surrender. Listen, also watch Learn How to Surrender. There are a lot of people who are doing reading books and stuff like that on surrender here at YouTube. Check it out. It's really worth your time and the shine. Peace, everybody. Have a good day.